What's going on, guys? Today's move-in day. We're moving all the inhabitants from the 55 gallon up to the 180. All my rock is already cured because I've been cycling it in trash cans, and then the rock that's in the 55 has been in there well over 2 years, or roughly 2 years I should say. But I'm testing my water parameters anyway to be sure in the 180. I've got 0 nitrates, and my salinity was a little low, so at the end of the video you'll see me do a 30 gallon water change. But right here you got me pulling out all the rock, and I start with the rock first and I quickly move it over to the 180, and then I come back and get my hermits and my snails and then my fish. The fish were a pain in the butt to get because I don't have a very large net. I've got like a little minnow net, you know, it's like the size of your palm. But with the help of my wife, I was able to complete this job pretty successfully. I didn't have anything die that I know of. I'll check the tank in the morning and make sure nothing dies, but you know, everything went very smoothly. Overall, it took probably about an hour to do. Mostly because I wanted to take my time and get a halfway decent aquascape. However, I was not able to get what I wanted myself. I got the base structure down, and then I asked my wife if she wanted to help aquascape it, because at the beginning of the series I had told her that, you know, look, since you've never done something like this before, do you want to help out and see if you like doing it? So this particular evening I was working on it, and she was standing off to the side watching me, and I said, hey babe, why don't you get your hands wet and see what you can do with this rock, because I told her, I was like, look, I'm at a standstill. I can't figure out how I want to do it. I can leave it this way and work on it later, or if you want, you can see what you want to do. I don't know why I couldn't get it the way I wanted. I originally wanted like a volcano style scape, have one big section stretching from the left drain pillar to the right drain pillar. I don't know if it's because I don't have enough rock right now or what, but what my wife was able to do is pretty good in my book, and you'll see it at the end of the video. Here's what I have currently, and it's just atrocious. I don't like it. My wife right here, she's first time she's ever put her hand in a tank like this, and I think she liked it. It was like she called it a big puzzle piece. What she did, like I said, was pretty amazing. We've got arches, we've got caves. You know, I kind of want it to look as natural as I can. I don't want any fancy looking stuff, because I've been looking at reef pictures out in the ocean, and a lot of what you get are shells and, you know, big chunks of rock and things like that. But we finally got it the way we're happy with it right now, and I'm moving over my snails and my hermits. From the 55, I had about 20 hermits and somewhere between 10 and 12 snails, mixture of Necerius and Turbo. Obviously I'm going to have to get more, but this is just what I had from the 55, and I knew I was going to have to get more. I moved over 2 pieces of coral, well 3 actually, because my hammer coral broke one of its head, or I broke one of its heads off one day in the past, and it's just a little bitty piece. I'm gonna see if I can get it to grow into a full. All right, here what you see me doing is I've never done this on a tank, so I wanted to try it. I'm siphoning out 5 gallons at a time, and then putting a mark on the very back side of the tank, so that when I eventually start doing water changes, you know, I'm going away from the buckets, since I have a saltwater mixing station. So this will allow me to drain it down to a certain level and then pump it back up with the same amount of water. I'm not the first person to do this, so I'm not taking credit. I've seen hundreds of people on YouTube do it. I don't know who was the first person to do it, but whoever came up with this idea, you're a genius. Didn't take long. My wife helped me out. We did have some accidents. The tube fell out of one of the buckets and went all over the place, and then my cat knocked my camera off of my stand that I had it on. But it's all good. We were able to do this pretty easy. Here you see me marking my first mark, which is at the 5 gallon mark, and then I just do 5, 5, 5, 5 until I get 30 gallons out because that's what I wanted to change out. All right, here we are. I'm in the pump house. My wife is holding the roughly 35-foot flexible tubing that comes from my pump out of my mixing station. This makes the job so much easier. I got tired of hauling buckets around and filling them up, spilling water all over the place, you know. And this doesn't disturb the sand, it doesn't disturb any of the coral on the rocks. It's a very smooth flow. Overall, I recommend a saltwater mixing station similar to mine to anybody that is in this hobby and is tired of lugging buckets around. It's well worth it. I've got another video on the mixing station though, so I'm not going to go into detail there. But we're putting roughly 30 gallons back into the tank because my salinity was pretty low for housing fish and coral, so I needed to get it up, and I'll test it in the morning to see where it's at. But again, like I said, overall this project it went real smooth. This is the first time I've ever gone from a small tank to a bigger tank and doing a move. I'm gonna have to work on my Aquascape some more. It's not quite where I want it. I'm happy with the current stage, but I just want to be able to do more and have more structure, but I believe that's just going to take more rock. Here's the final product of what we have. You know, if you like it, hit the like button on the video, share my video. I want people to know that they can do 180 gallons or more on a tight budget. And I'll do another video later in the series of how much I've, you know, estimated of how much I've spent on everything. But you can see here I've got caves, I've got heels. It's all good. Like and subscribe.